Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to my Robinhood portfolio. For this video, I thought I would talk about a stock that is a great monthly income dividend stock. A lot of you guys have been asking what are some good stocks to initially buy on Robinhood. A lot of new investors don't really know a lot about the market, but would like to get into a monthly income stock. So I think a great choice would be this stock here, SPHD. I actually own one share of this stock on Robinhood. I own a lot more of this particular stock on my E-Trade account. But I like this stock because it's a great representation of the overall S&P 500, but it selects those stocks that have the highest dividend yield as well as the lowest volatility from the S&P 500. So you're getting a great collection of large cap stocks, blue chip stocks that have great dividend yields all in one stock, all in one package. So it's a great stock to get into for new investors. And the other part of that is that it gives a monthly income as well. It gives a monthly dividend. So that's great for new investors to kind of see a little bit of dividend income coming in. Unfortunately, on Robinhood here, the statistics are not updated. They are not correct. The dividend yield, as you can see on the bottom there, is 0.038, but the actual dividend yield is 3.78%. I'm not quite sure why Robinhood does not display the dividend yields correctly. This has happened on a number of stocks. A lot of you guys have been asking why I've been recommending stocks that have low dividend yields, but in actuality, a lot of these stocks have great dividend yields. It's simply not reported correctly here in Robinhood. Other part of this as well is for ETFs in particular, it does not report the premium or discount or fees associated with the ETF. So it's a little bit hard to kind of just use the Robinhood app in and of itself to screen a lot of these stocks. So the SPHD here is an S&P 500 stock. On the bottom you can see it's a low volatility ETF tracking a dividend yield weighted index comprising 50 least volatile names chosen from a short list of the S&P 500 75 highest dividend yielding securities. So again, these are great high dividend yielding stocks from blue chip companies that have great and large market capitalization. So quality stocks in this particular fund. It does trade at a little bit of a discount, which is great. And essentially what that means is that if the underlying securities of this particular fund were added up and divided per share, they would actually be more than the price of the stock. So when you buy the stock, you're actually buying at a little bit cheaper price than if you were to go and buy each of the individual securities and then had that divided out per number of shares. So that's great for an ETF like this, buying at a discount. Some of the other ETFs I have, or actually some of the business development companies and closed-end funds, will trade at 30% premiums, and that is very, very risky. Yes, they have great dividend yields of 10, 12%, but they're also trading at a 30% premium, meaning that you're paying 30% more for the price of the stock than if you were to add up all the individual securities and bonds and everything else that goes into that particular fund. So this stock here trades at a discount. The fees are very reasonable as well, 0.3%, which is very good for an ETF. And the other great part is that it is a very good performing stock here. You can see over the last 5 years it's up 87.02%. So not only do you have a nice little dividend yield, but you also have a great long-term buy and hold strategy associated with this stock. So again, this is a great stock for new investors. It's good for buy and hold, it's good for dividend yield, and the underlying companies are very solid, low volatility companies that will essentially have safe and for the most part increasing dividends for years to come. So the dividend yield associated with the ETF is very safe. The underlying securities in this stock, like I said, are all from the S&P 500. These are stocks like Philip Morris, for example, Kimberly-Clark, Coca-Cola, I think Ford Motor Company is in here, as well as GM, Caterpillar, GE, Pfizer, AbbVie Incorporated, a great pharmaceutical stock, Merck, Chevron, Verizon, Dow Chemical, International Paper. So a lot of the stocks that I have in my Robinhood portfolio are also part of this particular fund as well. And there's some lesser named stocks as well, First Energy, Southern, actually stock that I have in my portfolio, Consolidated Edison, another Dividend Aristocrat stock, Centerpoint Energy, Iron Mountain, Welltower, all great stocks. And essentially buying into this ETF, you get all those stocks without having to necessarily pick and choose and buy all these individually. So a great stock for new investors. So again, SPHD, a great dividend monthly stock for new investors. I highly recommend this stock for buy and hold. And for any investor who's maybe just getting onto Robinhood, doesn't really know what stocks to buy, but would like to get into a stock with a dividend on a monthly basis, or given on a monthly basis for a little bit of income. So let me know what you guys think of this stock. I think it's a great pick for new investors. I think it's a great pick for any portfolio, especially new investors. And like I said, I have one stock in my Robinhood portfolio, but I have a lot more of this in my E-Trade account. So SPHD, great dividend stock here. Let me know what you guys think about that. And kind of with that, I'll end the video. As always, if you enjoy my videos, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And until next video, we'll see you then.